Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. This story is one of the most unique stories in all of the NBA that I've probably seen in years. This Kyrie Irving story. You know why? The reason this Kyrie Irving situation is so interesting is because it has given us an opportunity to take a peek into the precincts of what some of these people really think and how they think about themselves and other NBA players and society in general. As y'all know, the Kyrie Irving situation was unlike anything we've seen in a long time. It was something that spilled into culture. You know, big media started talking about it. News networks started talking about it. Everybody started chiming in. And when we think about that situation, there's some other protagonists or some other characters that you can think of around that story. You have Stephen A. Smith. You have Charles Barkley. You have Shaquille O'Neal. You have Shannon Sharp, you have Skip Bayless. These are the major figures in sports media. And what happened? When the situation was occurring, Charles Barkley led the parade to basically create an environment in which Kyrie Irving would receive very, very harsh discipline. Here's what had happened. When Charles spoke, I think the comments he made, given the platform that he has, Charles Barkley I'm talking about, created a sense of urgency in the NBA to come down really hard on Kyrie Irving when he said the NBA dropped the ball. This is one of the faces of the NBA, whether you like it or not, he is. He dropped the ball. The NBA should have been more, they should have done something. They should have been more punitive, blah, 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 blah. That's when you saw the 5-game suspension, indefinite, which ultimately ended up being about 8 games. That's when you saw the 6 steps that he had to go through. That's when you saw the fines where you had to pay $500,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are the guys that created that environment. After that, some of these gentlemen decided to walk their positions back, as they should have. As they should have. Why? Because those in their community were extremely disappointed in them. And you cannot tell me, well, maybe you can, but you can't tell me you've become so big that now you feel like you're above your community. The minute somebody gets to that level, they're gone. Forget about them. The minute you feel you're bigger than the community that you came from, you're gone. You have to have something to hold your feet to the ground, your roots to the ground. And in that moment, it looked like these guys were piling on, and they were saying things that were even worse than some of the people that were in actual opposition of Kyrie Irving. Charles Barkley was extremely harsh on Kyrie, and he gave his opinions. Subsequently, about 2 weeks later, NBA on TNT came back inside the NBA, and they didn't address that situation, but they spoke about the lack of clarity in terms of the messaging behind the decision-making of the Brooklyn Nets in terms of when Kyrie Irving was going to return, because some of his teammates were saying, we ourselves don't know when Kyrie Irving is going to return. And they said the Brooklyn Nets should be a little bit more clear about that. Well, today in an article that we're getting from sportsrush.com, Charles Barkley seems to be doubling down. Let me read a little bit of this. Charles Barkley publicly questions Adam Silver and NBA players for letting $40 million Kyrie Irving loose. NBA Hall of Famer and TNT analyst Charles Barkley isn't one to mince words. A champion of social justice rights, the former NBA MVP never hesitates to voice his opinion on matters concerning religion, gender, and color. Thus, it was only a matter of time before he gave his take on the Kyrie Irving controversy. Appearing on the Let's Go podcast alongside Tom Brady, Larry Fitzgerald, Jim Gray, Barkley called out Commissioner Adam Silver and NBA players for not taking a tough enough stand on Irving's behavior. Charles Barkley expresses disappointment over the leniency approach toward Kyrie Irving. Despite Irving having served his tenure of suspension, Barkley felt Commissioner Silver and the former NBA's peers took it easy on Nets guard post his anti-whatever tweet. I went right after Kyrie because what he said was wrong, said Chuck. It was inappropriate, and I went to Adam Silver, who I really like. I said, you should have suspended him a week ago. Adam especially, him being from that community, to insult your religion, and I'm paying you $40 million a year. And I was disappointed in the players for not standing up, saying something. You can't just get upset when something happens against the black community if you are black. So you heard Charles' comments. Now, what's interesting, I was unaware of a particular part, which is this. He said, it was inappropriate, and I went to Adam Silver, who I really like. I never knew that part. I never knew Charles Barkley took it upon himself to go beyond what he said on television. I never knew that he personally went and contacted Adam Silver to suspend Kyrie Irving, or basically to tell him, hey, y'all should have suspended this guy a week ago. I was unaware of that. That's new information to me. I was totally unaware of that. And my question is, why? Why? You're a reporter in the NBA. You're covering, you're a journalist, you're an analyst, whatever. You're covering the NBA. Why did you take it upon yourself that time to call the commissioner to do that? Do you do that at every turn when something goes wrong in the NBA? Do you do that? Number one. Number two, the reason a lot of players weren't vocal against Kyrie Irving was because a lot of players were just as confused as some of the people in the public. Where a lot of people kept on saying, what exactly did Kyrie Irving say? That's the part no one addressed. They were like, what did he say? A lot of people were putting words in his mouth, saying things he never said. They said he didn't say those things. No one even questioned this. Number one. Number two, if you took it upon yourself to see that he was disciplined properly, I wonder, did you also call them to ask about it still being shown on Amazon? Did you make that call too? Did you, since you're a justice warrior, did you do that as well? I wonder, did you do that? Or was it very easy to go after Kyrie? At the end of this, I don't even know what Charles Barkley was talking about. And finally, let me just throw this point out there. Fine, you did that. My question is, why did you go on CNN and start saying that blacks have been very rude and disrespectful and unfair to this community? Charles, who are you talking for? I don't feel that way. My mother doesn't feel that way. My brother doesn't feel that way. My father doesn't feel that way. My friends don't feel that way. What are you talking about? We the black. Who gave you that? What made you say that? Who asked you to say that? What prompted you to say that? Number one. Number two, what does that have to do with Kyrie Irving? Why are you doing all of this? Why are you doing all of this? It looks like you went up there to say, hey, let me show you, man. I'm on your side. Yeah, we do this wrong. We do that wrong. We do that. Answering questions nobody asked you. Why'd you do that? A lot of us can stand up, because when you said that, I said, but I don't think that. I don't think that. Maybe that's something you think. Maybe you're speaking from something you feel. But how can you make a blanket statement about an entire people? Why would you do that? Who's making you do this? I didn't understand that part. You went up there and started saying, who asked you that? Why are you saying that? I'm like, who asked this guy this? It's like somebody say, hey man, how you doing? I'm doing good. Oh, by the way, let me tell you how much money nobody asks you. You're volunteering all of this information. I thought that was, I didn't understand that. But I didn't know you went to this extent. Why? Why are you doing all of this? Who made you the neighborhood watchman? Are you the gate man? Like, are you the guy watching the neighborhood? Who told you to do all of this? Who gave you this assignment? Who? You're going to call the commissioner. Why are you calling him? They're the NBA. They'll handle it. The Brooklyn Nets will handle it. Why are you doing extra? Why? Why?